What's up, YouTube? It's Doeden Survival here. This is my part 2 video for the top 10 items, non-food items, that you want to make sure you stockpile for an economic collapse or when stuff hits the fan. My last video, I kind of went over the most common items that you might find on a top 10 list, or ones that you might already have in your stockpile. They're all really good things to have, so go check that out. But as I was doing my research, I kind of found that there's some other items that don't pop up as often on people's lists, and some of them are things that I hadn't even thought of yet. So I kind of put together a list of more uncommon items, and that's this list right here. 10 uncommon items that you might need to consider stockpiling. Again, these are non-food items. And actually, I have an 11th item. It's like a little bonus item, so stick around for that one that I came up with myself that I am not hearing anybody else talk about. So I'm just going to jump right into the list. This is the third time I've filmed this video due to technical issues, so let's hope it turns out. But we'll just jump right in. Number 1 is tarps. You want to have coverings, protection from the elements. Can never have enough tarps ready to go. You might need to cover something big. You got a hole in the roof, or who knows what. Cover your wood pile outside. Tarps are always good to have. Zip ties, duct tape, super glue. That kind of fits all under my adhesives category. You want zip ties are very versatile. Use them as restraints. You can use them to secure your cables, use them to label your food supply. You zip them up with a little tag on there or something. Makeshift lock on a door or a cabinet or something. There's a lot of uses. Zip ties, duct tape, of course, that's obvious. Super glue, things to keep things together. When the stuff hits the fan and things are coming apart, you need stuff to keep things together. So simple as that. Stock up on that. Number 3 is alcohol and other forms of liquor. Again, multi-purpose, cleansing agent. It's an emotional or a well-being tool for when morale is down and you need a little pick-me-up, or you're going through something painful, or even physical pain. Can dull physical pain. If you gotta do some trauma work on somebody, trauma surgery or something, and can dull the pain or get you through it too if you're squeamish around blood. There's just so many uses for liquor, and it lasts a long time, so stock up on a bunch of different kinds. Number 4 is building supplies, like common nails and screws. These are good just to have for everyday use, but you never know when you're going to need to fix something or build something, or you just never know. It's good to have those things around so you don't have to go out and grab them. You might not be able to if things are bad. Or maybe hardware stores are open, but they're out of stock on all that stuff because everybody's realizing they need that kind of stuff. Number 5, fuel, all different kinds. Kerosene, propane, gasoline. Just make sure you store it properly and you're using safety measures. But again, for whatever purposes you might need it for, have a couple different varieties and kinds and different forms ready to go. So fuel is number 5. Number 6 is protection from the elements, so like bug spray, sun protection, things like that. Stock up on those. If you got a bug out and you gotta go hiking quite a bit, or whatever your plan is, you're gonna want to be able to protect yourself from mosquitoes and other things, and not to mention from sunburn. That can get real nasty and not be fun when you're already stressed out and dealing with everything else that's going on. So you want to have bug spray, sun protection, and other protection items for the elements. Next one is hygiene supplies. So feminine hygiene, oral hygiene, things like that. You don't even need to have ladies in your life. Feminine hygiene products can be useful for a lot of things, like in trauma situations. They can soak up blood. There's again, many uses for these, but especially if you've got a family and ladies in your life, stock up on the feminine hygiene products. They can be used to barter later on. The oral hygiene, keep your mouth and teeth healthy. Again, you don't want to be going through something stressful and then because you're not brushing, taking care of yourself, flossing, then you've got toothache and it gets worse and worse, and it's painful and you have to pull your tooth. It's just, that's not something you want to deal with. So it's the little things when something happens, it's the little things that are going to add up and that are going to mean the most. Keep up your morale. Next one is light sources, illumination. So you can never have enough candles. Power goes out, you need candles, and you always need more. A little candle doesn't light up much, so having those around, and they run out, so you always need more. Flashlights everywhere, lanterns, just lighters, matches. Make sure you have all the different kinds stocked in all different places, and a bunch of it. Second to last is batteries. Again, all different kinds. Stock up obviously on the common ones. You don't want your electronics to go out when the stuff hits the fan. This is a no-brainer. Stock up on batteries. And last but not least is socks and underwear and things like that. This one was a big one for me when I kind of realized that my mental state and my mood often depends on what's going on with my feet. If my feet are wet and I have to walk around in wet socks and shoes, I get cranky. I get depressed. It's not fun. And again, if you're having to bug out or you got to work outside a lot and in the elements, and you don't have access to clean and dry laundry, especially your socks and underwear, that's an issue, and that can cause problems. So you want to keep yourself clean. You want to keep yourself dry. That's huge. You don't want to get sick. Extra socks in your bug out bag. Extra socks in your long-term storage stockpile, and underwear too. Obviously, you want to keep yourself clean. You want to have good hygiene everywhere. So don't want to be getting any bugs or nasty diseases just because you didn't have enough clean underwear. All right, that's pretty much my list. Like I said, there's a little bonus one here. This is one that I haven't really heard people talking about, and that's books and books in general, but more specifically like how-to books, DIY projects, prepper survival books. If the internet were to ever go down, we take the internet for granted, I feel like, and we get so much from there. You can just go, any question you have, go type it in and find your answer within seconds. But what if that was gone? What would you do? Would you know how to survive and some of these things that, maybe you were raised in the country on the farm, and that's great. I wasn't. I'm a city boy, and I'll admit it. And there's things I don't know that I wish I knew, and I'm doing my best to try to research and learn things as I go. But I'm never going to learn everything, and so I want to have some of this information on hand if the internet were to ever go down, or if for some reason there were restrictions, like has happened in other countries. God forbid that ever happens here, but again, God forbid that any of this happens, but that's why we do this, just in case. So you want to have how-to books, prepper books, food preservation, gardening, there's so many different ones. Start with the things you're interested in or the things that you want to know more about, but have a well-rounded collection. And you could even go into the fiction and entertainment stuff too. Again, back to the morale side of things. You want to be able to have things to do if the internet's down, ways to entertain yourself and keep your spirits up, and ways to learn and grow and keep your mind working. It's big that your mental state is huge during these times. Cookbooks. There's just so many things out there. Just like Idiot's Guide to Things, or the whatever it might be. Anyway, so that's kind of like my bonus one that I thought of that I've been working on. I think I have a collection of over 500 books, and I'm still growing it. I love collecting books and reading them. I'm reading them all the time. So I hope at least one or two of those was something that gave you reason to think about it, and maybe you want to work on it on your own supply. If so, let me know. If there's something else that you thought should have been on that list, hit me up in the comments. And if you like what you're hearing and you want to hear more, please subscribe, turn on that notification bell. It always helps when people support this channel, and I love this community. I love being a part of it. So I'm excited to make more videos, and I hope you stick around and see what's coming. I've got some cool ideas that I'm working on. So that's it for today. The top 10 most uncommon non-food items that you want to stockpile for economic collapse or SHTF. And I'll leave it at that. You have a good day.